Hello everybody, I am Attila Tanner. Welcome to a brand new video of Next Talk. I hope you're all doing well. It's been 3 weeks since the last video, so we are due for an update. Well, in today's video, we're gonna go over the Q1 results, meaning January 1st to March 31st, how the different indexes performed. We're also gonna look at the different categories that we are following, how they performed as well. Well, before starting, I just want to say thank you so much for all the 3,000 subscribers, and that was an important milestone for myself, and hopefully I can keep delivering good content and we can keep growing the channel together. All right, so if you start with the different indexes, that was for Q1, we can see that S&P 500 was down 4.6% for this Q1 and 8.8% until today when I shoot the video. Nasdaq was down 10.4% and until now 13.4%. Dow Jones Index performed slightly better with only 1.3% down for Q1 but 5.5% until today. TSX Index actually performed positive, 0.8% up Q1 but 4.6% down until today. Let's see how Q2 will be. We will check that out in beginning of July. Now, if you look at the different categories that we are following, we're going to look at them too. But before that, I want to see the accuracy. So the US stock accuracy that we have, meaning that this is the price targets that we are our computer is putting out from based on the formulas. And after when we go back and look, I can see that 90% of the cases we are doing well. 10% of the cases we are doing poorly, meaning that if we said buy, it became a sell or vice versa. And for the Canadian stocks, it's 96% accuracy, meaning that in 4% of the cases, it went the wrong way. So it's always a good gauge for myself to see how well the formulas are performing. So nothing is 100%, obviously, so we have to be a little bit always careful, but we're aiming for always improving towards the better. All right, so if we look at the different categories, the value stock, how they perform. So the value stocks in general was down 1.9% of the 3 that we are picked in the US and the Canadian. The US performed slightly better than the Canadian ones. The dividends, they were up 10.6% for that quarter, while the US performed better than the Canadian. In the growth category, they were up 3.5%, where the Canadian performed better than the US. Now, the attractive category, which is a new category for the year, was up 10.4%, so that really did as well as the dividends, and while the Canadian stocks performed better than the US. And the Pricey category performed poorly as predicted, 19% down. Both Canadian and the US one were down. So we keep doing this check-up every 3 months just to see how the different categories are performing. But we have seen in the past that dividend stock tend to do well when the stock market is going down. Maybe people are moving more stocks towards less risky and more cash dividend paying stocks. So that could be a trend. Anyways, now let's look at some highlights of companies that recently reported. JP Morgan reported an 8% year-over-year sales growth. Our price target for them has been lowered to $239. Wells Fargo reported a 3% sales decline, and our price target for them has been lowered to $66. Morgan Stanley reported a good quarter of 17% year-over-year sales. Our price target for them, however, has been lowered to $119. Blackrock reported a 12% year-over-year sales growth, but our price target for them has been lowered to $928. All right, some of the companies that recently reported, Goldman Sachs reported a 6% year-over-year sales growth. Our price target for them has been lowered to $534. Walgreens reported a 4% year-over-year sales growth. Our price target for them has been increased to $11.10. Now, just remember, Walgreens is also under consideration to be bought out. Now, some Canadian stocks, Alimentation, Couche-Tard reported a 15% year-over-year sales growth. Our price target for them has been lowered to $76 Canadian. Observe, this one is Canadian, everything else is in US. Well, Prairie Sky Royalty is also in Canadian, so they were up 12% for the year, and our price target for them has been lowered to $24.26 Canadian. If you're curious about other companies that I did not mention, you can always log into the nextstock.ca website. You can sign in now with Google, Facebook, or just email. and you have 30-day access for free. And here, what can you do? You can search for a company, and you can click to compare that one with another company that you're curious about and see what the recommendation is from us. You can also look at the top 10 list instead of the top 3 that I'm presenting here for the different categories for US and Canada. Soon, also, I'm hoping to have the portfolio section ready for you, and that's going to be quite interesting, and it's going to show different values of different portfolios that you can look at. All right, so check it out. Now, let's go into the regular reporting. We go to the US market and the value stocks, the top 3 at the moment: JP Morgan, Exxon Mobil, and Bank of America. So this category gives stability. It has a high market cap for the companies presented and also a low price to earnings. Dividends could be interesting as well since they're giving cash back. Walgreens, HSBC, and Verizon is the current top 3. The growth category is purely looking at the growth. So Coinbase, Robinhood, and Nvidia is the current top 3. Attractive category puts a little bit of logic into it, so it's not just the growth, but also comparing it how the stock price is performing with it, but plus other trends related to it, such as price to sale ratios and other things. AppLovin moves up now to spot number 1, Rivian drops down to spot number 2, and Micron Technologies comes back into the list of spot number 3. Coinbase, who was in the list, is out from top 3. Pricey category is the reverse. Basically, we consider those stocks more pricey at the moment. XPeng is still the number 1, followed by CVS and Itaú Unibanco. Alibaba and Cloudflare is out from top 3. All right, that's the US market. Let's dive into the Canadian market, and we start with the value stocks there. Top 3 at the moment are Royal Bank, Bank of Montreal, and Bank of Nova Scotia. Canadian Natural Resources drop out from top 3. Dividends in the Canadian market: Bell, followed by TELUS and Whitecap Resources. Again, Bell is having huge dividend payout, so check that out. Growth stocks in the Canadian market: Brooksfield Wealth, followed by Lundin Gold and Endeavour Mining. An attractive category for the Canadian market: we have a newcomer in Bausch Health on spot number 1, followed by TFI and Curaleaf. Lightspeed is out from top 3. And finally, the pricey category for the Canadian market: Franco-Nevada, followed by Wheaton Precious Metal, and Kinross Gold is a newcomer. Franco-Nevada and Wheaton Precious Metals has high price to sale ratio, and that's why they are also penalized. Verizon, who was in the list, is out from top 3. All right, that concludes the report for this time around. If you like those videos, please like and subscribe. And hopefully I will do a new video in 3 weeks' time. And that time I'm hoping to do the mergers and acquisition. I was going to do it for today, but since there was already quite a lot of information, I decided to push it to next video. Meanwhile, you can follow me on X or Blue Sky. I will post whenever there is some stock-related important information. All right. Meanwhile, I always gather a lot of information before jumping ahead purchasing stocks. Until next time, bye-bye.